Yeah, hi everyone. So today, we are going to see in this session recording SAP enterprise structure, right? Yes. So as I think we have completed all the previous things like architecture, the navigation part. I think all these things we have completed so far. So now in this thing, we are going to see about the enterprise structure. Okay, so the base foundation of SAP here. So the enterprise structure is not a common terminology only for Okay, this is a common terminology for all the modules here. So what is this enterprise structure in the sense? Okay, it is a structure just represents the total enterprise of this ERP system, because we are using a different modules and different setups we are using here. So this is common for all these things. Okay, every individual module will have a enterprise structure. Not all the modules. Okay, not all the modules will have the structuring. So we have only few modules which is having this enterprise structure in that. So also will be the one. For an example, if you compare with other modules, other ERPs like Oracle, Microsoft, like that, so they will be having one organization structure. That's it. Okay, they have one common organization structure. That's it. So only in SAP we have individual enterprise structure for individual module. So they don't have like that. Okay, so that is one of the key structure what we need to define here. Okay, this structure will gives the complete boundaries and territories for each and every module here. So that is what we are going to have here. Okay, yes. So in this enterprise structure, what we are going to discuss is it's all about the structuring here. I'll just show you the structure. First we can discuss about the structure, what are the elements we have to build the structure. Okay, so what are the things we need on that one. So then we can go into step by step into that one, and we are entering into the configuration part. Okay, yes. So we can see this one. This is the organization structure, or we call it as an enterprise structure of here. Okay, this is the part of Okay, so first, before getting into the system and starting the configuration here, so you need to understand one point. What are all these elements? What all these elements are called for? Okay, how it is structured? Why we need to structure like this? So how it is getting connected? So what is the significance of each and every element? We need to understand that. Okay, so then only we will get a clarity on this. Okay, so let's see this first. Okay, then we can get into the system, so it will be having a very good clarity for you. Okay, so let's see this particular part here. Okay, right. Okay, yeah. So before getting into this, let me explain all these things here. Okay, so let me get into this part. Yes, so here we have different setups, right? Yes. So we can able to see starting with the client. Okay, so what is this client is means for? The client is in the top thing, right? The client is the top one. Okay, you can see the client is on the top one. You can see this one. Okay, so the client occupies the highest level in SAP system. So this is the top of this one. For example, you can just consider the client as a customer. Okay, the top level, the organization top will be the client. That is normally it will be there. Okay, yes. So you can see that client will be on the top. Okay, you can see the client will be on top. Always the client will be on the top. Okay, so this denotes that the client will be on the top of the structure, okay, which will undertakes all these things will be there. Okay, yes, this is the highest of the SAP system here in the hierarchy. Okay, so coming for the second one here. Okay, so coming for the second one, so there we can able to see the company code here. The second one is in the hierarchy. We are having a company code here. Okay, so what is that company code? Okay, company code is nothing but so within the client. Okay, within the client, so you can see within the client. Okay, a company code is an independent accounting unit. Company code means it's an accounting unit. Okay, it's not belongs to it belongs to accounts, means it belongs to finance. It's a financial unit. Okay, it's a financial unit what we have here. So it is a part of finance here. So why the finance element is coming to the right? So we are just seeing only the enterprise structure of So why the finance element is coming into that one? So we can see that, okay, because it is coming under the integration point. Okay, so we know that already, right? SAP is famous for integration here. So we can see that point here. Okay, and it can be a legal entity. It is a legal entity. Normally the legal entity we will call it as a plant, right? So the plant is a physical entity and this is a legal entity. Okay, so legal entity that owns the profit, loss, balance, everything. Okay, so regarding the finance, complete loss, profit, everything will be taken care by this company code. This is the representative of particular, okay, so finance part here. Okay, right. So like that, what is the next thing you can see? Okay, so you can see this particular part. The next one is a purchase organization. Okay, what is this purchase organization? You can see what is this purchase organization. Okay, purchase organization. Okay, so before that, okay, before getting into this organization, all these things, I will do one thing. Okay, I'll just make this differentiate. So that will give the clarity for you. Okay, I'll just differentiate this. Okay, maybe I'll just take this away. Okay, I'll just differentiate this. You can try to see this one. Okay, I'll just differentiate that. You can understand this. For an example, okay, if you see here, okay, so this two part, right, this two part we are seeing, right, this two part is different and this three part is different. Okay, so for your better clarity, if you with this angle, if you see, you will get that clarity very easily. This first two part is different. Okay, this two part is different. This two part will comes under the finance. Okay, this comes under the finance. Okay, this two part will comes under the MM. Okay, so we are having under the MM. Okay, so now you can see, okay, so why this MM and finance element is under the same structure. So we should have only structure, means we should have this three element only, right? So why we are having this all finance also, this thing means because the integration plays a major role in SAP. Okay, if you take SAP, the integration plays a major role. Okay, yes, so integration means it's an integration, it's a connection between different modules, because we are doing a teamwork, right? So without any integration we cannot able to work on that. Okay, so that is the ultimate thing we are using here. So for that, for the MM and finance, not only MM and finance, other modules also will get integrated. We can come to that point. So already we have seen that client. Okay, so the client we have seen, so client is the top level of this one. Okay, in the hierarchy this is the topest unit, that is fine. Then we have seen about the company code. The company code represents the finance. Okay, company code represents the finance. For an example, if you take this one, okay, so in our state, so in our particular module, so we have three elements here. Okay, three elements. Okay, one is a purchase organization, one is a plant, and one is a storage locations. We have three elements here. Okay, let's see what is the three elements, and we can come back here. Then I will explain how it is been taken into the consideration. Okay, so let's get into the part. Okay, so let's explain that. Okay, so then we can get into that. Okay, you can see the purchase organization. Okay, it's an organization unit under a company. You can see under a company means, so under a company code, so it will be there. Okay, so under a company it will be a purchase organization unit. So means very simple that, so how a company code is representing the finance. Okay, in behalf of finance. Okay, in behalf of finance, how the company code is taking the control, like that the purchase organization is taking the representation of, okay, the purchase department. Very simple. So the company code is representing the finance department, like that the purchase organization is representing the purchase department in MM side. That's it. Okay, because it's enterprise structure, right? So commonly the structure should represent each other. Okay, so you can see this representation. Okay, so now coming to the next one, what we can able to see here is, okay, we have to see about the plant here. So we have to see about the plant here. Okay, what is a plant? Plant, everyone knows that already. I told you, right? It's a physical entity. It is already been available there. It is physically, because company code or purchase organization, it's all virtual, right? Just we are giving a just of a naming convention. That's it. Okay, so but in this plant is a physical entity where actually you can see the plant is an organization unit within a company where activities takes place, because here where the total activities are taking place. The total activities are taking place, and here where we are storing all the materials, here where we are producing all the materials. So this is a physical entity here. This is ultimately a physical entity. So how many plants you have physically, that needs to be recorded into the system. Okay, so then only we can able to find out, okay, so where to store, where to inform this, all these things, we can able to find that very clearly. Okay, yes, and the finest unit, okay, and the final and the last and least unit is the storage location here. The storage location, there is nothing to discuss about the storage location, because the name itself we can clearly understand. It's a place where we keep our stock physically. That's it. Okay, the place where we keep our stock physically, because ultimately the main target of the MM is bring the stock from the vendor and store it in the inventory. Okay, so that storage we need to have a place. That place is called as a storage location. Okay, one plant can have n number of storage locations here, so that is what we are going to have here. Okay, yes, so now you can get some clarity what are the elements we are going to have it in this thing. Okay, so now we can see into the system. Okay, so means before getting into the system, okay, so we can see the structuring, how the structuring has been made. Okay, how it can be done, we can see that, then we can get into the system, right? Yes. Okay, so get back here. So now you can able to see here. Okay, so I'll just coming back here, so you can see that one. Okay, so already we have the client and the company code, right? Already we have seen about the client and the company code. Okay, so this belongs to the finance. Okay, so this is not a scope of a consultant. First of all, you need to keep that in mind. So it is not a scope of a consultant. Okay, so what is the scope of an consultant? Okay, so we are responsible for our purchase organization, our plant, and our storage location. These three is our element actually. Okay, so we know about how this company code, for an example, from the company code. Okay, so this is the company code is taking the representative of finance, like that our purchase organization is taking the representative of this thing. For an example, it's like India, Pakistan, you can say it like that. Okay, so for India and Pakistan, okay, so from India, okay, so Pakistan has to have a mutual agreement with someone, or a mutual connection with them. So not entire India will go and entire Pakistan will come for a speak. There is one representative from one area and one representative from another area, right? Like that. So the company code will come as a representative from the finance side to have integration, and from the purchase department we have the purchase organization to have an integration. Okay, so why we having this integration is very simple. For an example, here you can see. Okay, so if this integration happens, okay, if this integration happens, what will happen is, just think of a small example. Okay, so what we will do normally, okay, what we will do normally, okay, so we will be, okay, so purchasing this one. For an example, there are two things. Okay, so just understand this, there are two boundaries. So here from the vendor, okay, from the vendor, okay, so we are, okay, so we are getting the product. Okay, for an example, we are getting the products. You can see this, all the products we are getting the products. So where we will be bringing this product? So we will be bringing this product to our store, right? We will be bringing our product to the store here. Okay, so in store we will be having this product here. Okay, from vendor we are bringing the product into the store, and our work is done here, our work is done. But what happens is, just bringing the product from the vendor is not a problem here. So we need to pay for this vendor, right? Because we purchased this item from this vendor, we need to pay for that vendor. So if you want to pay for that vendor, so it needs to go. For an example, you can see this is an area. So you can see you are in the area now. So this area, after this line, this is a finance area. So this information should go to the finance. Means you bought a product and you just bring it on the inventory, your transaction is completed, so that needs to be paid. Okay, means that information should go to the finance. Okay, if you don't have this integration, if you don't have the integration, then whatever we do earlier, means whatever we do earlier without ERP, we do something, right? For an example, whenever we brought some material in our inventory, we will take all the bills, the vendor bill, our bill, all the things we will take, and we will take bunch of bills, and we will go to the finance, and there will be a clerk, right? There will be an accounts, okay, so payable clerk will be there. So that clerk, you will give all the file, so she will be checking all these things for 2 to 3 days, then again she will be entering everything in the finance, because there is no connection, right? There is no connection. So again they will be entering everything into the system or somewhere here. Then she will be thinking that, okay, so whenever she is free, then they will be doing the payment. That is normally we have, right? This is what normally we'll have if we don't have the system. So what will happen, whenever the finance is free, they can able to pay, in the sense the vendor will not be happy, because the vendor wants to give the product on time delivery. The finance, the payment also should go on time, because our one of the important KPI for is on time delivery, OTD, we call it as OTD, on time delivery. Okay, on time delivery is must, because this on time delivery is equal to your revenue. Because how we can able to represent the revenue? Yes, we are representing, because when we bring the material inside the factory, then only that will go to the production. So the production can manufacture a product. That product can be sold by the sales department, then only the revenue will come. If I'm not bringing the material on time, the production cannot complete the product on time, the sale cannot be done on time, the customer will not happy, he will not give the amount. Everything is a reminder, because we are the starting of supply chain management. is the starting of supply chain management. Okay, so if we are not bringing the material on time, so all the entire system will get collapsed. So for that, this small integration is highly important. That is what I'm just highlighting this importance here. Okay, so now if it is integrated, what will happen? Whenever we bring the material and we just store in that one, so we don't want to worry about that. Automatically this information, okay, automatically this information will go to the finance. Automatically it will go to the finance, because we have integrated that. Okay, we are already integrated with this finance, our organization and company code. What will happen? Automatically it will goes to here, and here the finance, okay, the finance just want to verify. Here they will be doing the verification. Okay, here they will be just verifying that, okay, whether everything is right or not. They will verify, then based on the due date they can do the payment, so they can automatically pay for that. See, everything will be very effective, because already we have just given a commitment for the vendor. Okay, after we receive the material, we will pay in 20 days. That information automatically will goes here, and after 20 days automatically the payment will go. So the vendor also will happy, and I also will get the on-time delivery, and also my company also will get the revenue. Okay, this is the ultimate target. Okay, this is why we are doing this integration. Okay, so it's not only integration with so the FI will be integrated with maximum all the modules. Okay, that is not relevant for us, but just have an idea. Okay, yes. So like that, you can see we have a purchase organization, we have a storage location, all other things. So that also will be connected, but that is connected internally, because this is our internal connection. For an example, this is our internal enterprise structure. Okay, so we don't want to worry about anything, because this is our internal connection. Okay, so the organization will be connected. For an example, the plant will be connected with the organization, and the storage location will be connected with the plant. This is what our connection is. Okay, so I would say this we are connecting with this one, means this is only for the integration. Okay, internally we will be connecting for ourselves. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to do two things here. Sorry, we'll be doing two things here. So one thing is we are going to define. Okay, so one process we are going to do is we are going to define, and next process we are going to do is an assignment. So in the define, what we are going to do is we are going to create. Okay, so we are going to create all these elements, means the purchase organization we are going to create separately, and we are going to create the plan separately, and we are going to create the storage location separately. Everything we are going to do it separately. Okay, so in the definition we are going to create all these things separately. And finally, coming to the assignment here, so as I assigned here, you can see the plant is assigned to a purchase organization, the storage location is assigned to the plant. Like that, the assignment we will do it here. Okay, I will just repeat, we have two sections in the configuration. Okay, when we go into the configuration, one is a definition and one is assignment. In the definition, we will be creating all these individual elements. Okay, so we have individual elements like organization, plant, and storage location. Only three elements we have. This three element I'm going to create it separately, individually. I'm going to create that. Okay, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the assignment here. Assignment is nothing but I want to internally connect this, means plant into organization and storage location into the plant. I want to connect this. Then only I will get a structure, right? So if I want to get a structure, I want to connect everything. Okay, so that is what we need to connect. So that is how it will be connected here. Okay, so for that I have two methods here. You can see I'm showing two methods here for your better clarity. Okay, I'll erase all these things. Okay, so I don't want to have a mess here, so I'll just erase all these things. Okay, yes. Now you can see, okay, I'm dividing this into two parts. I'm dividing this into two parts. You can see. Okay, so I'm dividing this into two parts. Okay, so this is two things. I'm dividing into two things here. Okay, so one thing you can see, this is the method one. Okay, so this is one method and this is a second method. You can see, okay, how we can make a structure before we get into the system. Okay, so one thing is, okay, it's a for an example, okay, centralized system, and one thing we can have a decentralized system. Okay, for an example, you can see this is a centralized system and this is a decentralized system. Okay, one is a decentralized system. Okay, one is centralized or one is decentralized here. Okay, so what is this centralized in the sense? You can see here clearly the client is a top notch. You can see the client is a top notch. That doesn't matter here. Okay, that is one unique. Now you can see a company code. So there is one company code. For an example, this is defined by the finance. We don't want to worry about that. This will be defined by the finance. So how many company codes they want, they can able to define. So this is an accounting unit. So maybe they can have one accounting unit or maybe they can have two. That is their choice. For an example, in this case, you can see one company code as one accounting unit. And you can see this one company code is connected with one organization. So this is all the codification. We have just seen only the naming convention, right? Now we are seeing the codification. See, 4-digit codification we are giving here. Okay, so 4-digit codification I'm giving for this company code and the purchase organization. See, this one organization is connected with one purchase organization here. See, now it is connected here. Okay, now you can see one organization is connected with, for an example, you can see, okay, so multiple plants. You can see it is connected with multiple plant. It is connected with multiple plant here. So what it is a centralized one. See, one purchase organization means you can take that one purchase team. Purchase organization you can consider as a one purchase team. Okay, one purchase team is taking care of 3 plants. Okay, so one purchase team is taking care of 3 plants. This 3 plant means 3 physical plant. Okay, one purchase organization is taking care of 3 plant. What it means, one common purchase team. For an example, you can take an example of corporate office. Nowadays the corporate office is very getting very popular, right? One corporate office, there will be a one big purchase team will be there. So whatever happens, whatever there is a need of this plant, so this purchase team will take care of that. So any purchase, anything they want to do, so negotiation, vendor, completely this 3 plant, this one team will help us. That is this centralized solution here. Okay, and one plant, for an example, that one plant can have multiple storage location. That is common. So that we know that, right? One plant, inside that one plant, you can have n number of storages there. So that is not a problem. So you can create n number of storages one. Okay, now how it is connected, you can see. So now the connection is, this storage location is connected with plant. Okay, so connected with the plant, and this plant is connected with the purchase organization, and the purchase organization is connected with the company code. So actually how much connection? Totally 3 connections we have for making this enterprise structure. So we want to define that individually, and finally we want to assign this to the particular part. Right, so now we get the clarity on the centralized. Okay, if the business needs a centralized method, so you can go with this. I will go with another method also. You can see it is a decentralized one. Again, we have a same client, so the client will be same. Okay, you can see the company code. For an example, for a difference, I'm just giving a different company code. Okay, in this company code you can see, okay, so here you can see, okay, there are 2 organizations. You can see one company code, so there is 2 organization is connected. So 2 organizations are connected. In this organization, you can see here we have one organization is connected with multiple plants. Means one organization will take care of all the 3 plants requirement. But here you can see decentralized. One organization is taking care of only one plant. One organization is taking care of one plant. What it means? It is a decentralized method. Means their plant. So each and every plant, this plant will have its own purchase team. Very simple. One plant, they have their own purchase team. They will take care of themselves. Don't worry, because we don't want to take care from our point of view. Here what we are doing in the plan one common team will take care of the activities of all the 3 plant. But here what we are doing, that same plant is having one purchase team, dedicated purchase team. He will take care of that. Okay, so how the business needs, okay, when you are discussing with the customer, when you are interacting with the customer, you are collecting the requirement, you need to make this very clear how you want. Okay, how you want all these things you want to discuss, then only you need to go into the system. Okay, without this conclusion you should not go into the system, then it will be a failure. Okay, yes. And the final thing, okay, before we close, okay, let's see this one point, which is a purchasing group. Here you can see one purchase group which is not connected anywhere, right? which is not connected anywhere, it is lying like an island. Yes, because it is not connected with the particular enterprise structure here, because it is going to give an indirect option. Okay, it is going to work as an indirect one. Okay, it is going to indirectly help us, okay, in terms of that. Okay, so when we go into the system, we can see how this purchase group is indirectly helping us. Okay, let's see that one. Yes. Okay, so I think next okay, on the next session what we are going to have is we are going to continue this particular enterprise structure. So now the basic understanding about the enterprise structure is clear for you. So now what we are going to have in the next session, we are going to get into the configuration part, getting into the system, and we are going to configure this. Okay, so maybe a centralized or format or decentralized format, we can go for it. Okay, so we can get into the system and we can create this one. So the definition part and assignment part we can do, and we can clear the system. Okay, yes, that is the foundation we are going to do. Okay, so let's see. So get into that one. Okay, yes, so let's see in the next session regarding this part. Okay, yes, thank you.